What's the biggest obstacle from the Astros getting back to the World Series in 2024? See. Once said they're washed.
Who said they're washed?
8270. The Astros' biggest obstacle, I'm guessing, is they washed up.
Okay, so this person drunk texting.
Yeah, come on, guys. It's 1:19.
You know what?
Wait till we're at the decoy tomorrow and take some Mexican candy shots with us.
Yeah, or go to Highway Cantina later on and do the same thing. You know, like there's lots of options, but yeah, I don't think this person's doing very good with the thumbing. So the idea that the Astros are washed, to me, it's going to happen eventually, but it can't happen this year. I just don't see how it would. I remember there were a couple of times over.
Who's on washed watch?
Oh, that's a great question.
A Verlander?
Justin Verlander. If you're 40 years old, you're automatically on washed watch. As a pro athlete or not as.
Don't be Jeremy Branham and say Altuve.
I mean, he's the old. I'm thinking of old guys. To be washed, you have to be a certain age, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I think his season last year and postseason.
Yeah.
I think that it's fair to,
he's on the watch list. He's on the watch list.
Nah, I don't think he's not even on the list.
Okay.
I don't
Then
know.
it's Verlander.
Verlander, Rafael Montero.
Well, he's just on the sucks list.
Rafael Montero.
he's on two. There's a could be wash list. So this guy's still good. This guy was never good. Yeah. And this dude's just dog.
Rafael Montero is maybe the most washed man alive, in that he probably smells amazing. Like that's how washed he is.
Ryan Presley. Washed up.
That one is a good one. I think that's a good nominee. And look,
like 35.
Speaking of Ryan Presley, Paul has takes on Ryan Presley.
I hate you're going around a long time.
They're keeping it.
They're going to cut you down. Because it's ridiculous that everyone's shining the lights and waving them back and forth. So now Ryan Presley comes in the middle of the game in the 7th inning or 8th inning, probably the 8th inning as the setup guy, and they're going to do that? I'm sorry. You got to be the closer. You got to be the closer for that. And on top of that, look, Presley has had an incredible run with the Astros, and I'm not about to say he's about to suck. I'm not. But last year, it did not feel as dominant. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. And that's why it's very easy for Josh Hader to slide into the predominant closer role. I love that Ryan Presley is still a part of this bullpen. He has done a lot for this team. He is not bad. But I think there's a good nominee for if somebody is perhaps going to all of a sudden find himself not being the same player he used to be. It makes sense for it to be a reliever who is getting up there in age, who has been here for a while.
And part of that's also he's going to be in a new role. And you hear from time to time closers talk about when they're not in a safe situation because they're such psychos, not being in a safe situation, like they can't perform in the same way as they can when it's like the game's on the line.
Yeah. Ken Giles, for example. I'm punching myself in the face.
Yeah, Paul punches himself in the face.
No, the nice part about Presley with that, though, is that he was not a closer always in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that's you hope that he can revert back. And plus, he knows he's only doing it for 1 year.
Yeah. I will say I am with Paul, though. It is a bit ridiculous that the 8th inning guy gets the intro music.
I also agree.
I think he can get it on nights that he pitches the 9th and is going for the save. When Hader, say Hader's got used the last 2 days and they want to give him a night off, and so Presley's the closer, then he can have it. But you can't do it in the 8th inning.
Yeah. Honestly, even when pitchers come in earlier, they shouldn't use it. It should only be for the 9th inning at all times. Save it for the 9th. But they're going to use it. So if you love it and you hate our takes on this, because I agree with these guys, it should go away. Does this mean that Presley requested to keep it, you think?
I don't know, because that's...
This seems like an olive branch.
Yeah, that's what it feels. I was going to say, it feels more like a team thing, being like, hey, listen.
We're sorry we took you out of the role, but we're going to give you still get this kind of treatment because you've been here for a while.
Also, the game ops people have to be in the loop, and they're probably like, yeah, sure.
So what's Josh Hader going to get?
McTaggart put out a poll about this.
Yeah, he was down to 3, I remember, 3 songs, and he apparently told McTaggart to, put up a poll, and I'll pick whichever one wins the poll. I want to say it was a Lil Wayne song. I
think you're right. I think it was a Lil Wayne song.
Lil Wayne song.
I think it was Fireman, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, you're...
I don't know what that song sounds like, but that sounds It sounds like it would work.
All right, who has a better year? Our hitters bracket: Alex Bregman, Yiner Diaz. Our 4 versus 5 matchup.
Ooh, Bregman. Yeah, I guess all the top seeds are advancing in this one. What Yiner Diaz did last year was in 100 games or so was really incredible. No one expected that. No one expected that, and you're hoping that you get more of that. But I mean, if Bregman is ever going to be the guy that he was in 2019, an MVP finalist, what was he, second? This is the year. It's last year.
Yes.
He wants to earn a ton of money. I think that he had some good moments in the postseason last year. He has a full off season where he wasn't dealing with an injury like he did last year to get better. Chandler Rome has that article out how he's at peace. Feels like everything is adding up to an Alex Bregman massive season.
It does. It the way spring training's gone for him, it leans that way. So, Baseball Reference puts out, they do projections before the season. So, Baseball Reference, their projections for Alex Bregman this year are hit 262, 22 home runs, 86 RBIs, and 805 OPS versus Yiner Diaz. They have him at 830 OPS, 20 home runs, 58 RBIs, 276 batting average. So they have Bregman better in most categories besides overall batting average. So this would be pretty close. If it was that, you would give it to Bregman, but Bregman's going to have a bigger year than that. He's not going to win the MVP. I don't believe he's going to, but I think there's going to be a lot of moments where he's going to have conversations about if he should be in the conversation. So it's Bregman for me, but I did struggle with this one.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to lean Yiner, but just everything.
It's Bregman.
Going just off the last year's numbers, Yiner Diaz had a better year than Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
And he only played 100 games. A lot of times he was the DH. And now he is going to, like Paul mentioned, I think in the first segment, he's going to be the everyday catcher now for the Astros. So his production will probably rise, but also there is going to be something to it is just going to be hard to prepare when you're having to prepare not only the pitching game plan, but also your own hitting game plan against the other team's pitchers. So I think that mixed, this is all the stuff that doesn't get baked, I'm guessing doesn't get baked into the baseball reference projections, is that it feels like things are adding up for Bregman to have a good year, while things are adding up for Yiner Diaz to take a half step back, or maybe just plateau at where he was last year. Not you're just building and improving.
Sure.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, so Bregman advances. So the top 4 seeds advance. So Jordan, Altuve, Tucker, Bregman are your 4 guys in to the next round of our hitters bracket that we're going through today. With Yiner Diaz, how long do you think it takes him to really get a feel behind what he's doing behind the plate to earn the trust of the pitchers?
I think it's going to be quicker than you expect, and I read that piece by Matt Kawahara in the Houston Chronicle. He's the Astros beat writer for them now, talking about how last year they had him work on blocking, making sure pitches don't get past him. And he, at the end of the year, for everybody that was qualified, 300 innings as a catcher, he was in the 90th percentile. And if that was something that they thought was an issue before, okay, he improved on that front. Now the real question is the framing and all the other stuff that you have to do, because there is an art to making a ball look like a strike. Obviously, we still do not have robo umpires, so there's a little bit of deception and gamesmanship. And I guess he has been working on that. So it sounds like he is a quick learner. And if he is a quick learner, then it stands to reason that things will move pretty quickly. But at the same time, with the way Maldonado was always described, you could scoff at it or be annoyed by it. But if everybody in the clubhouse is saying the same thing about Martin Maldonado, in spite of his putrid numbers at the plate, there is some shred of truth to what they were saying. And it's going to be hard for him to be that guy, just based off of the way that he's always been described.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, you have to hope that he learned enough last year while watching Maldonado. It's it does always go back to the question of like why Dusty Baker clearly never felt confident that Yainer Diaz could make those adjustments and be ready to catch these guys during the year last year when he was so clearly a better player than Martin Maldonado. So hopefully this season, that they're not the biggest thing is I hope we never get a Martin Maldonado call. We will, but I hope we never do. About people saying
a caller calling in asking about Maldonado,
like, how much they miss Maldonado.
I'll do it.
Yeah, come on. We don't need a call. We got this guy. Right?
Yeah,
just wait for the Astros to give up 4 runs in a game.
Once again, we saw that if Paul Gallant just loses this bet, we would have the best radio show in Houston because last night Ronel Blanco proved that dad strength is a real thing. So if Paul just got 3 baby mamas, our YouTube numbers would go through the roof.
But that means the Rockets would miss the playoffs.
That's true.
This is something that you want me to do, and it also means I would go in all of the debt.
That's also true.
I don't listen. Having
Not
one
necessarily.
kid. What do you mean, John?
Well, because if your performance goes up, boom, we're the number one. We're the number one station in America.
Yeah, we'll be raking it in. I mean, look at Ronel Blanco. Has a kid with his family all day, 10 strikeouts, makes the rotation.
Jalen Green.
Dad strength.
Jalen Green now going to get a max contract. Was going to have to play for the Pistons or something.
Look, Paul, when I had a kid, I went from making $12 an hour, being a miserable human being, to coming here and almost doubling and more than doubling my pay.
Almost doubling, you said.
It's more than
he
doubling.
He said almost doubling.
It's more than doubling.
The man cannot do math.
That is true. We learned that today. Okay.
Yeah, it's double.
Double of 12 is $24 an hour.
I'm sorry. I would be such a horrible father.
No, you'll be fine.
I forget to feed my cat regularly,
Well, sometimes the kids just don't eat.
And the good news is if you're having 3 baby mamas, you're not going to be spending time with a lot of them.
Yeah,
no, I'm just
them
going to
all-
be spending money with alimony checks on all of them.
Why can't they just be friends?
What? Is this going to be Big Love with Bill Paxton?
I mean, I think
the
that's
show
how-
about the Mormons that all live in a block. It's 3 houses next to each other with his wives, and they're all just hanging out.
Just get one set of apartments, all the kind of together.
Yeah, I can afford that. That sounds like a great idea.
I think that's actually what the Mormons do.
Just get a sugar mama. Make one of them a sugar mama, and you're fine.
If you're gonna have tons of kids, you better be one, a successful celebrity, Nick Cannon, or a successful athlete, whether it's Antonio Cromartie, Travis Henry,
Phillip Rivers.
Adrian Peterson. Phillip Rivers had them all with one significant other, though.
But he still has like 11.
I mean, if you're gonna go and spread the proverbial oats, you better have money. Otherwise, those kids are not going to have good childhoods, and I, in good conscience, cannot do that. So this bet addendum that you guys have tried to add in to shame me into doing, say the Rockets don't make the playoffs.
You know what? Fine.
I find it to be, honestly, Joe, as somebody who grew up in high school, I was living thousands of miles away from my dad. Yeah, I'm going to guilt trip you now. I don't want any other kid to feel that way.
Okay, fair. So let's alter the bet. You have to be just like Jalen Green and have 3 kids if they don't make the playoffs, which means you have to get 2 more cats.
At some point in life. Oh, 2 more cats. I don't hate that as much. But I don't want...
Rescue some like 13-year-olds.
I don't want people to...
That'll really ruin your sex life.
Well, I mean, some people like cats. Some women like cats.
Paul, if a girl comes to your house and she goes, "Oh, you have 3 cats?"
Hey, I'm seeing this guy. He's got 3 cats.
And 1 cat's
the
fine.
one cat already doesn't help me out. Like
if you go to 3,
which is so dumb. I don't get it. Cats are such an easier pet to take care of, and so many people have terrible dogs. And I go, "Oh, the doggo, my pupper." The things like humping people's leg. He never does that. Bites a toddler. Oh, he never does that.
So Ronel Blanco's in the rotation. But yeah, he was with his wife all day yesterday. She had a baby, so congratulations. Then he came out and he dominated the Space Cowboys. Got the Astros back to 500.
Yeah, like JP Francis throwing at Jose Altuve's head.
He tried to kill him.
Blanco going out there with 10 strikeouts against the Sugarland Space Cowboys, which we could have used that the night before, by the way, when the Astros lost to the Sugarland Space Cowboys.
Do you think Joe Espada actually made his decision on who's going to make the rotation.
Like in that moment.
No, but when JP France threw high and tight at Altuve,
Like this dude's got
Honestly,
go.
I'd want him on the rotation if he did that. That's a guy who competes.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. I like that. France
don't do
obviously.
it to Altuve. That's my
He's
my thing.
He's
Don't do
just
it to
practicing.
Altuve.
He's just practicing for when he throws at Aaron Judge's head.
The thing.
That would be at his kneecap.
I know.
I would love it.
As I said that, I was like, Aaron's much taller than Jose Altuve.
I would love an Astros-Yankees brawl tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But
Game 1, let's just go.
to bring it
the
back, France, you could tell, felt horrible about it, and obviously the World Baseball Classic last year. Who was it? Wasn't it an Astro that
Luis Garcia didn't hit him, but no, wait,
came
Luis
close.
Garcia was on Venezuela. Who was it? Oh, I forgot who it
was
was.
it Hector Neris?
No, it was Rando. He was
Okay, it wasn't an Astro.
No,
I remember there was
he pitched for the Rockies, I think it was.
Oh yeah, it was Daniel Bard.
Yep.
It was on Team USA.
He had zero control.
He was walking
it was
everywhere.
brutal.
right. So that's why you're concerned when it's up and in on Altuve.
Yeah, but Blanco's in the rotation. He's looked really good this spring, so I don't know.
He was good last year. As far as the many next men up for the Astros last year, he was very good. And that's, I think, the real question I have about this coming season, because they're going to have to do a lot of next men up. It felt at times like it was like, what the hell's going on? They are incredibly lucky as far as the guys who are stepping in and doing well. JP France and Ronel Blanco are two perfect examples of that. But, you could also point at Mauricio Dubon, the first month of the year. Is that likely to continue? There's a part of me that thinks, yes, maybe that's just part of being on this team, that the people that are in the clubhouse feel confident that they're going to be able to step in there and continue what the guys ahead of them on the depth chart are doing. But there's another part of me that almost feels like, okay, at a certain point, baseball evens itself out. The baseball gods say, okay, you've had a little bit too much favor with these guys who are not everyday players. That is not something that should happen. Credit to the Astros coaching staff if these guys who are going to have to step in, specifically the pitchers, and continue to do what they were doing last year. I mean, hell yeah. Joe Espada, manager of the year already. He won't get it because he's an Astro and no one on the Astros can win anything, but I like this.
I feel much better about Blanco having a good year and being a staple part of this team than I do to JP France. JP France's stuff just never, when you watch it, it never screams like nasty or elite, or he doesn't even have like those moments.
He does have a cool glove, though. You see the glove?
He does.
The glove has his sunglasses, not his sunglasses, whereas his prescription eyeglasses and his mustache on it. Like it's like stitched into the webbing. I love it.
Yeah, it is very cool. I enjoy that.
It's actually cool. I wish there were more customized gloves out there.
Those things are expensive. I remember getting like custom gloves when you're growing up, and they're pricey.
I still have mine. Big old outfielder glove.
I bought a new glove. I guess my dad got me a glove when my son was born.
You're gonna have a catch with your son.
So I can have a catch with my son.
How many years do you have to wait till you can have a catch with your son?
Well,
show him off how to
play catch every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 3.
He's 3. Can you play catch at 3?
He doesn't have a glove, but you guys remember those like these like cylinder circle things with it's Velcro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We play with those every day.
That's good. That's start him young.
Exactly. It's like, try not to hit him in the face, and accidentally hurt him a little bit too much. The other day I spanked him because he got in trouble.
Uh-oh.
He went straight to my wife and he goes, "Daddy hit me." And I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah, it's a good thing he doesn't have social media.
Yeah.
It's good that,
Yeah.
He might learn to call the Child Protective Services.
It was not great.
Hey, we had someone.
The way he said it, I was like, "Oh, that sounds way worse than it was."
We had someone's words get taken out of context last week on the station. It'd be a real shame if this clip made its way.
Yeah, it'd be a real shame if Turkey came after me right now.
Well,
in that moment,
I don't think they care about those.
Yeah, I think Turkey. I mean, let's be honest. What do you think? How do you think Turkey handles these situations?
Careful.
Well, I'm just asking the question. How do you think they handle these situations?
I don't know enough
Probably
about
a lot
Turkey
worse.
or their culture to speak on their parenting
Good
techniques.
answer. Good answer, Sean.
But I think different people might have an issue with what Joe just confessed to doing.
Soft. Okay, if you
Corporal
do.
punishment.
You're super soft if you have an issue.
See,
with it.
Joe is a Southern man. He is not from Chicago. Well, I will say,
I didn't use a belt.
He read the Adrian Peterson book on, on parenting.
This is not the same.
Listen, Adrian Peterson, I mean, he's provided for his kids, so come on.
It's true. Parker Mashinsky made the opening day roster, according to Chandler Rome.
He did.
How do you feel about that? I don't.
He's got a cool last name.
He's not very good.
Someone's got to make the roster.
Someone's got to make.
There's got to be 12, 13 pitchers.
Yeah, and just a reminder, they won't have Brian Abreu the first 2 games, so we'll see how that goes. When do you expect Justin Verlander to be back this year? So he threw
question.
Less than 30 pitches. He wants to get to 85 before he comes back.
You read these articles, and the pitchers always just say the weirdest stuff about like where they're at in their recovery. But I think they need him back by June.
I would be bummed if we don't get him back till June. But 85 pitches, that's because
if he's at 30 right now, I don't know what the ramp up period is, but I'd assume the next time you throw, it's like 10 more times, then you go 5 days, 10 more pitches, then 5 more days, 10 more pitches. I don't know what the ramp up process is, but this sounds like a month away.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's always tricky because they're like, yeah, I'm feeling good. Okay, then get back out there. Well, not that good.
I think best case scenario, he's got 2 starts where he goes to 50 and then he goes to 85, and that's a big jump. So that's maybe best case is he misses 2 starts, so he's back in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean what's the actual date that he's available? It's like April 15th or something, or I guess it would be April like 12th.
Yeah,
that one. It's probably going to be a week or 2 after that on the sunny side of things.
Yeah, so first week of May, the latest.
And we don't know if he wants to come and do some of the ramping up during the season, where maybe that first start he's only available to pitch X amount of pitches. And so he only goes 4 innings in his first start.
That's very true. He could do 1 start in Sugar Land or in Round Rock or in Corpus Christi, and then just come up to the Astros and just pitch less.
Yeah, which I wouldn't. I'd be like, do your rehab starts in AAA?
Yeah, like he'll be back at some point, but it's none of it's a red flag or anything like that. I was hopeful as well that he was going to miss 1 start, and then. But it's so hard. It's impossible to know because every rehab goes so different, and some of them go on a much faster pace. And Justin Verlander said that at his age, it's not going to go as fast as it would have in years past. So take your time.
Again, he's at the age that Roger Clemens was when he just started doing half seasons. They are the same age. So it's not unprecedented that guys take a little bit longer to get ready.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Justin Verlander, he'll be back at some point.